13signsastrology.com. Well, 13astrology.com actually. I own both really, but long story. Long story. But yeah, we're working on a website, by the way. So just to let you guys know, it's not going to just be donation based. Gonna get some products out. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm about to talk to these people now and figure that out. But so getting back into what I was speaking on. So essentially, like that's pretty much what I was on. So like I looked at it like they're putting together these tours for these different rappers, and it's worth $20 million, $10 million. I mean, I've actually studied that stuff. Like I used to do shows and stuff like that. Was when I was in my 20s. So I made a lot of money doing that too as well. So like booking artists and bringing them to my city. So I mean, I know how much money is in it. So I'm like, let me go ahead and since I know they're not gonna sign my crazy ass, let me go ahead and put together a tour and prove it, like a metaphysics tour, and show these people how much money is involved just in that. So I went ahead and did that, not even counting the videos, but just the tour alone and the money spent, the investment, and the stuff that was done on the tour off camera even is worth a lot of money. So once I go back and document and start teaching you guys what I did last, because I really never taught you guys what I was doing last summer. When I was making those videos, I was actually doing stuff last summer, and I never talked about it. Never talked about it. So I'll be talking about that this year since it's finally complete, and there's some things that I finally do understand on how to merge land into stocks and stuff. And it's really deep on how you do it, and it's really just based on knowing when certain gates are open, knowing when certain gates are closed, and when to go to certain places and when not to go to certain places. And what I base it on primarily is stocks and sports units, because sports units are very instrumental as well with this computer programming and software or whatever. Because as you guys know, the first sport actually was soccer, which was brought over here to this country by the Olmecs, and I've talked about that on other videos. But what I'm pointing out here is that that sport was brought over here. That was locked into units too as well. See, the thing is that sports units tell a story. Stock units tell a different story. And the 0 point origin or the zero time when these different sports started and the teams and all of that tells a story. I still haven't even finished the research on it. But what I'm explaining here is that this is an ongoing story. And once you get deep into it and start figuring it out, and that's where I'm at with it, it's millions in this. Millions. I got to get myself to a point on a level to even be able to teach you the information because you got to, on each level, you got to look a certain way, present yourself a certain way. I'm going to have to make various changes as things keep going on, various different changes you'll be seeing me making as I update this information, because that's what I'm potentially trying to do is update this information for 2022. Because just like a lot of the master teachers taught us, every 10 years this portal opens, right? So in 2022, this portal is going to open, and this portal is negative. If the beings come through this portal in 2022 and we allow this history to play out, just the way it's going now, everybody's a goner, the way I see it, because of the things that I know. You know what I'm saying? You can say, well, how could you say something like that? But it's because of the things that I know. They're going to make you a goner financially, sexually. Oh, yeah, they coming for every aspect. They counting all of that to fuck you up sexually, uh, on a money level, as well as on a intellectual level, and the thing and controlling the things that you know, and controlling what's considered smart and what's not considered smart, or what's considered intellectual and what's not considered intellectual. See, if you can control that type of arena, these guys is going to be a force to be reckoned with. This is all a part of this. I'm calling this the 88 hit that they're gonna try to pull off in 2022 and finish up. So I'm gonna make these string of videos, hopefully as like a future prophecy, to kind of get you guys, to understand what's going to happen, to be able to peep game, so that when it's coming your way, you'll know what to do based on these stories. So let's get into what I did. So pretty much I linked up all of this land, so then boom, you got the stock market aspect. So then I started figuring out what was going on with sports, and I found out that you can bet on certain games. So this is how I turned my channel into a betting arena. I'm not going to tell you the figure because I don't want to tell you how much it is, because certain things have to be paid for. But if you got a certain amount of money locked into your channel, you could turn this into you can tie this into what's called units in sports. And I'm going to explain to you why this is important. It's not just about betting. You can get money out of this. So once you tie it into units, I'm not going to tell you how much. There's a certain amount you need. Your channel is now, and it's any YouTube channel, is now tied into units, right? It's a gaming channel, and it's up to you to follow the story and join in when you see the bets going on. Many people just roll up under my channel because of the stuff that I'm into. They just watch my videos. You watch a video, you essentially a part of it on that level. One click, you in it for one click. You know what I'm saying? So you in it for the number one. Everything I do is based on numbers. No matter what number you join up on. There's people that donate money. Okay, you in it on that level. You know what I'm saying? People that just watch the videos, you in it on that level. So you gotta count though. Feel me? Gotta count. There's people that's doing this, they vising me as I visa other people. And I don't mind visa me. Go ahead. That's what I'm calling. I'm teaching you how to do it because you could visa me and visa me out. Some people try to do it. It's a gaming network. This is what this is. I'm teaching you how to do it. It's worth money or whatever. But when you try to take stuff from people in this, you'll always pay. That's what I tell people. Nobody's gonna get away free. Nothing. You can't take nothing. You can't take sex, money, nothing. This is deep. The way it's set up. So this is the 88 hit of the century right here that these beings are bringing in. So essentially, like, so after that, you got the units, different plots of land tie into different areas, and then you have what's called sports units. If you have a certain amount of money, you can tie your channel into sports units, or it doesn't have to be a channel. It could be any business. You can tie your business. I'm gonna point that out too. It doesn't have to be YouTube. You can tie your business, any business, into units if you got a certain amount of money. I was just lucky enough to make this money through YouTube, so I'm like, hell, I'm doing this through YouTube. You know what I mean? I'm radical. So I did it through YouTube, but it doesn't matter what business. You got a certain amount of money, you are entitled to units, to tie your channel to units. Now, when you get units, this is when it gets interesting. This is how you move into the realm of sovereignty. This is what they're not going to teach you. Sovereignty is controlled by sports. Why? Because no matter what level you on an international realm, sports is going to play a part in it. Whether it's soccer or hockey or whatever the case may be, there's internet basketball, doesn't matter. There's an international aspect to every sport. So once you get yourself tied into units and you start to understand that, and it took me years to get this program set up. So once you start to understand that, now you can get credit, real credit, right? This is how you become a secure party creditor. It's thanks to the sports, you see, and it's a cycle. Nobody can write anybody out with this thing that I'm teaching, really. That's why I can teach it like this. Because nobody can really write you out if you understand the story on why you come in at a certain level that you come in at. See, these people that started vising me, that's how they won the ones down there in Nashville. It had a lot to do with my story. But yeah, they visited me down there in Nashville. And that's how they won the ones. But guess what? This is what I'm teaching on the 88 here. I done visa so high that I done pretty much offset units. See, I'm on a different story part now. I done moved on. I done offset sports. That's right. People don't understand that. Yeah, I've moved. That's why I'm teaching you the program because I've moved past it. Meaning that I can play on any team now. I've offset hockey. Essentially, is what I did through setting up this program. Meaning that I had to offset it because they was vising me. I had to offset it. It took me a moment of time, and I'm gonna tell you how I did it. I'm offset it through what's called an 88 hit, and I'm explaining to you how I did it. I left a certain place. This is another part of another story I'm going to tell you. I left a certain place. I'm not going to tell you where because all this is worth money, and people don't want to know details. You have to holler at me. But I left a certain place at a particular time after exploring what I would think was worth about $8 million worth of land. Right. So I left this place and I counted. I was like, I'm gonna bet this against hockey, and they was gonna have to won me. After me leaving this place, I claimed this land as mine. I said, "Oh, this is mine," and it still is, by the way, because I'm gonna explain to you how I did it through an 88 hit. So I left this place, and over a period of time, they had a certain period of time they had to drop. Just it was easy. All they had to do was drop 8 ones on me. That's all. All they had to do was drop 8 ones on me, and we wouldn't be talking about this. They couldn't successfully do it. They had a certain time period to do it. They had about like 2 months to do it. They didn't successfully do it. So I was able to secure this land. I'm not going to tell you guys where it's at. And they know what I'm talking about, the military and all of that. They know what I'm talking about. This land that I visa. I can't tell you where it's at, but it's worth $8 million to me now. And once I monetize it, it's a wrap. Because I have so much money on this channel once I finally monetize it. Because I got it. Now, see, I got different ways of monetize. I can monetize off. I do that just because I do this because some people on YouTube and online, they'll try to steal from you. So I got ways of controlling that. I'm like, you want to come steal from me, you may fuck around and die. That's how the Egyptians did it. They had it to where you come up in their pyramids, too much you're gonna take some shit, you might not make it out, bro. That's how the Egyptians had. You come up in the King Tut them pyramids and trying to take certain grave robbing out of a lot. Them people turned up dead, and they cloned them and made you think they made it out. They never made it out. They killed those people, and that's why I'm saying you gotta have a protection. So, oh yeah, we got something for thieves. It doesn't matter. You try to steal women from us, whatever. Got something for that. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter. So yeah, like so they try to visa me. These people they visa me now, whatever. And you can still do it. It's a game. Somebody got to make it up to certain levels. I'm vising somebody else. I'm not gonna tell you who I'm vising. You know what I'm saying? You got, and it's not like a lot of times visa don't mean you're gonna go fight them and hurt them. It ain't even like that. Sometimes it's just money that's exchanged. That's it. Some of these people are so rich they can just pay you off. Like, oh here, I owe you that here. That's all it be. Sometimes just cash. It don't even be like you got to, about to go whack them. Sometimes it do be like that though, man. Shit deep. It's kind of straight. It's the land of sovereign. It's the world of sovereignty. So sports is how you get into the realm of sovereignty. It's through sports units, and this is how you get credit. This is how you become a creditor. So I started vising people. People started vising me. This is essentially what I did. I discovered that if they could hit 8 ones on me, they could offset my view. That was the rules. They could offset my view of this land and being able to generate as much as money probably in the future as I want from this view. It's worth so much money. I'm so happy that I know about this shit. You could just visa it. Simple. It happens just to be in my name too, but that's a whole nother story. One of my strongman names. But it's good because I was able to set that up that way. So I'm just vising them, right? Got paperwork set up with it, everything constantly vising them. So they had a time to do 8 ones. I guess all they had to do, and they couldn't do it. And it's over now. Because now it's over. You want to know why it's over? Because I learned how to do something quantum. So now I done turned this shit and I invested this land that I visa, done tied in with a bigger group, and done tied my land and the stuff that I done visa, and they done this bigger group done bought into it with me. So now you got to pay them too. So now that turned into an 88 hit. That's what I call it. Now you got to visa a whole 88 hit. You can't just cash me out. Now you got to cash out this whole view that I done set up. And it goes back to like the 40s, man. This land. It's called an 88 hit. And I'm just going to point that out. And I did it a certain way because I did it through hockey. And I'm going to explain to you one thing. I got to point this out. This is worth a lot of money on how I did it. Just one thing that I shut down. So what I did was this. And I know some people are following this like you sound warped. Just keep watching this over and over again. It's going to make sense in the future. Watch. Even more so. Because I haven't talked about all of it yet. I haven't went to the sacrifices and all. I haven't went to any of that yet. That was tied in associated with this whole program. This thing is worth millions, man. I'm teaching you guys right now. You're watching history play out, all of it. So I turned 8 1 since they couldn't win me. They had 2 months, about 2 months to do it. They couldn't do it. They got close, but they couldn't do it. By the time I made it back, you know what I'm saying? They had only won me like 6 times. I think by the time I made it back to the sacred land again, because I'm vising the land. You see what I'm saying? That's what they don't see. It's a certain way you do this stuff. Because once you visa the land again, it changes the whole board. Man, this shit is like amazing. So now the board's different because I visited the land again since I've talked. Like I'm telling you guys this story, but I'm saying I've already visited the land again. So I'm on a different level as I tell you the story. So they can't visa what I just did. They can't do it. It's in the past now. They can't. They say, well, they're going to steal your ideas. That doesn't matter to me. You can't really do it for various reasons. But so, and I'm not bragging here, but I just want to let you guys know what I did because a lot of this took a lot of work and it's in depth details to it, but it's not, it's real simple because, like I said, I don't take no notes. It's all up here in my head. You simply ask me a question, I give you an answer. It's real simple. That's the combination for it. But the thing is that you got to know what to ask me and when and what I'm talking about on what level, and then, you know what I'm saying, what I'm not talking about on a different level. So I was able to link up all of this land. I was able to set it up to where now if they want to hit the 8th one, because they on the 7th, and I'm gonna just point this one point out and I'm done. They on the 7th one since I left the land. I'm still gonna give them a chance to try to visit, right? So they're on the 7th one, meaning that they have to hit one more one to hit 8, because eight's a secret number. They still gotta hit 8, no matter how long it takes them. They gotta do it. It's gonna be interesting to see how they get it. I don't know how they're gonna do it because it's gonna be deep when they hit 8. Because now it's an 88 hit, so 8 ones ain't gonna offset it no more. Anyway, just let you know that now you got to do like, I'm calling it 88 because it's tied into some other ones that started back when I first started visaing them back in earlier this year. So really they're only on like what I would consider, I'm not going to say they're on 30 something. I'll just say that they're on 30 something ones total for this whole program period that I'm telling you guys about. They're only on 31s. You're like, well, that's a lot. It's not a lot to me. This thing is worth over $1 billion once I get it together. It's not a lot. You got a visa 8, and I'm keep moving the program up as I visa it. So now you got a visa 88 to see me and to see what I'm talking about fully. And the reason why you got to do that is because the 8th one, guess what? The first one, the landholder of all of this, when I left the sacred land, it's the number 8. It's in St. Louis, the 8th Federal Reserve. to be specific. It's an 88 hit, and it's one of the biggest ones that you've ever seen because of the fact that if you offset it, 8 ones ain't gonna do it. You're gonna have to offset 88 because the first one is the number 8. Get it? So when you hit 8, you just gonna be back into 8 again because it was held by houses. It's held by St. Louis when I first left. So the whole thing, and then it's offset on another way. I won't tell you. There's other secrets to it too because I offset it on a credit level too, and I'm not going to tell you that part how I did that because I remember I said they own 30 something. I've already offset 30 something on a credit level, so that's why with this program I have enough. Essentially, what I'm telling you is that I have enough commodities backing everything that I'm telling you, to where they couldn't really visa me unless they were able to cash me out on another level. So, and it's an interesting, amazing game. You know how it goes. Everything's a game. Once I put this information out, it'll escalate the situation. I'm pretty sure. So that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm gonna come up with some more videos. We out of Chicago, about to go make some moves and figure out some things. I'll get back with you guys this evening and come back up with the end, man, and see how it's gonna go for them today. We got some bets and stuff like that going, but essentially, what I want to go ahead and do is I want to talk about the commodities though, because this is very important in the Egyptians. There's some things that aren't really calculating in that tie into America, and I'm gonna tell you guys how America, Atlantis, India, and Egypt tie in together. I'm gonna teach you guys that next coming up soon. So stay tuned. New series we're working on. Don't know where we're gonna label this to turn up at. Got countries about to go to on this. Hopefully, if it continues to cycle and to move on. So who knows where we'll be at next? You guys stay vigilant. Namaste. Hotep.